Today, our word is empathy. Empathy. Empathy is entering someone else's experience without judgment. See how those go together today? We talk about speaking in truth in our devotion. And then today we have a word that comes right out of there, which is empathy. And is entering into somebody else's experience without judgment. Listening to them, understanding them, making sure that you feel what they feel in their experience. Not necessarily take over their pain and take over, but just trying to understand. And we do that through relationship. We don't do that through just seeing them and not knowing them, right? Empathy deepened my relationship more than advice could ever when I stopped trying to fix people. One of the biggest things that I've had an issue with in my life is coming up with a solution before I found out what the true issue was. Especially in marriage, when you start a relationship in marriage, you realize that sometimes your spouse may just want you to hear them more than they want you to fix things. And if you're a fixed person, a solutions person like I am, sometimes it's really hard to have the empathy that's needed to understand what's going on because you're too busy trying to find a solution. So my relationships tend to deepen more than advice ever could. When I stop trying to fix and start trying to understand them, trust begins to grow naturally. And people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And the way that you do that is naturally. Empathy says you're not alone in this, and that alone can change everything. You are not alone in this, and that alone can change everything. That's what empathy does. That's something you should practice today. So as you make your connection with whoever you're making your connection with today, who needs to understand instead of answers? Who needs understanding instead of answers? If they ask you to solve, then solve. But first, listen and try to understand. And then you have been able to conquer empathy. So today, choose that one conversation to be fully present in, that you are listening to understand, not to solve. Your phone's down, eyes are up, and you're doing exactly what you should be doing in order to communicate and have empathy with somebody. What an amazing, strong word. So promise today, the promise that you're going to make yourself today. I don't know what it is, but you are building the muscle of keeping the promises that you make to yourself, as am I. Today's suggestion, it can be any promise that you want to, as long as you keep it, you make it, you write it down, and you do it before you go to bed. It is important to start writing down your promises that you make to yourself. So important as we're building this muscle to make sure that we keep the promises that we make to ourselves. Write it down so that you can check to see if you did it later. So the one that I'm suggesting today is listen without correcting or fixing. Whatever conversation. Now, in order to, if this is the promise you're picking, you have to be in conversation with somebody to be able to, in order, you have to have a connection. You have to have a conversation with somebody, and you have to listen. And then hopefully somebody will come with something that they want to talk to you about, not that they want you to fix. All right.